47. It is said that a girl's first time is the most painful, really painful. But Qiao Anhao felt that this time was truly painful to the bone, more unbearable than the first time. Perhaps it was because the alcohol numbed her sense of pain that first night, but it could also be that she loved him. That night his movements were very gentle, so even though he hurt her, the pain was still very sweet. But now, Qiao Anhao felt pain to the point of she couldn't live. There was no good, no excitement. If there was any, it was only endless torture. That's right, torture. Qiao Anhao felt like he was punishing her or venting the discomfort in her heart. Each of his clicks was without any emotion, as if he used all his strength, crazily giving her pain, wanting to hurt her to death. And she was really in pain, not only physically but also mentally more. Qiao Anhao suddenly regretted giving him the script herself. She should have asked Zhao Manh, or when she heard the staff say that he was in a bad mood, she turned around and left. She shouldn't have touched this gun. She knew clearly that he didn't like her, even hated her. She even brought herself to the door, perfectly becoming a place for him to vent. What's more important is that he was completely sober, doing this with her. She was also like this. The previous 2 times she felt good was because he was drunk once and he had a vague fever once. How could she forget? He had once said to her, "Qiao Anhao, you want to play with me? Fine, I'll play you to death." So when he was sober, how could he be gentle with her? Qiao Anhao thought back, the corners of her eyes couldn't help but wet. After a long while, everything finally quieted down. Qiao Anhao lay lazily on the bathroom floor. Because of the pain, her body trembled slightly. Lu Cnian stared at Qiao Anhao, who was struggling to close her eyes. He swallowed his saliva and quickly turned his head. Following his movement, a layer of sadness and pain flashed in the depths of his eyes. But in just a moment, the depths of his eyes calmed down, still the kind that rejected people thousands of miles away, cold and heartless and without desire. He stood up, pulled a towel to wrap his body, then he turned off the running shower, turned around and walked out of the bathroom. There was no longer the sound of running water from the shower. The bathroom was eerily silent. The bathroom door was not closed. Zhao Anhao lay face down on the ice-cold floor, vaguely hearing the sound of someone putting on clothes outside. Then she fell into a daze. Lu Cnian dressed neatly, holding his wallet, cell phone, and car keys, preparing to leave. When he passed the bathroom door, his steps paused slightly, as if he wanted to glance into the bathroom. But in the end, he did not look, just with a cold face, continued to strut away.
Qiao Anhao woke up. The silence around her was eerily deafening. She opened her eyes, finding her surroundings cold as ice. It took her a moment to remember she had just been in the bathroom with Lu Cnian. Qiao Anhao struggled to get up, enduring the aches throughout her body. She stumbled out of the bathroom and found the room completely empty. Lu Cnian had already left. Qiao Anhao glanced at the clock on the wall. It was already 1 a.m. When she went up to deliver the script to Lu Cnian, she hadn't brought her mobile phone. Not having returned so late, she wondered if Zhao Manh had caused a commotion trying to find her, alerting the entire film crew. Qiao Anhao immediately picked up the room's landline phone and called Zhao Manh. Someone quickly answered. As soon as she said hello, Zhao Meng's anxious voice quickly rang out. Qiao, where did you run off to?" Qiao Anhao didn't answer Zhao Meng's question, weakly instructing, "Bring some clothes to room 1001. Not long after she hung up, Zhao Manh arrived with clothes. Initially, Zhao Manh was about to barrage Qiao Anhao about why she had gone to room 1001. However, seeing Qiao Anhao's pale face and numerous bruises, she immediately swallowed her words. It was late at night, and filming was scheduled for tomorrow, so everyone else in the crew had gone to bed. Therefore, all the way from room 1001 back to their own room, Qiao Anhao and Zhao Manh didn't encounter anyone. Once back in their room, Zhao Manh finally opened her mouth to ask, Qiao, was it Lu Cnian? Qiao Anhao pursed her lips, evading Zhao Manh's question. You didn't cause a commotion trying to find me, did you? No, Zhao Manh replied. She was about to ask Qiao Anhao again, but Qiao Anhao preempted her. I want to take a bath. Afterwards, without waiting for Zhao Manh's reaction, Qiao Anhao quickly went into the bathroom. When she came out of the bathroom, Zhao Manh was still awake, her eyes filled with heartache. Qiao Anhao interrupted Zhao Manh once more. Zhao Manh, I'm fine. It's late. Let's go to sleep quickly. Zhao Meng's mouth twitched, and she finally sighed, saying nothing, and climbed into bed. Qiao Anhao also got into bed, reached out to turn off the light, then pulled the blanket over her head, hiding under it, her tears silently falling. The next morning, Qiao Anhao opened her eyes to a splitting headache and a stuffy nose making it hard to breathe. It was likely due to being soaked in cold water and lying on the cold floor for so long last night, resulting in a cold. Zhao Manh looked at her pale face, unable to help but worryingly say, how about we call the director and ask to reschedule the filming a bit? With a cold like this, how can you even film?
I tiredly shook my head. That's it. As the second female lead, I've already caused people to be unconvinced. At the party the other day, Lu Cnian even said I got this role based on my ability, which made many people notice me. Today is my first day of filming, and there will definitely be many people coming to watch. If I say I'm sick and ask to reschedule now, who knows what others will think? They'll say I found it difficult and abandoned the battle. Moreover, I'm a newcomer. I don't have the right to be arrogant. If I don't do well in the end, it will also cause people to have prejudices against me, saying I'm delaying the filming progress. Before heading to the set, Qiao Anhao drank a glass of warm water, feeling slightly better. But when she sat in the makeup room, her head started aching again. Qiao Anhao composed herself and sat upright in front of the mirror for the makeup artist. At first, Qiao Anhao could endure it, but halfway through the makeup, her entire body became hazy and uncomfortable. As Qiao Anhao was getting her hair done, Lu Cnian suddenly entered the makeup room. Many people had to film today, and the makeup room was almost full. Lu Cnian stood at the door, scanned the room, and then walked to stand behind Qiao Anhao. Because Qiao Anhao was sick, she wasn't very focused and didn't notice Lu Cnian sitting right behind her. It wasn't until the makeup artist told her to look up at herself in the mirror that she saw Lu Cnian calmly sitting in the chair, his eyes unabashedly staring into the mirror. When Qiao Anhao looked up, his gaze subtly shifted, looking directly into Qiao Anhao's eyes through the reflection in the mirror. As soon as Qiao Anhao's eyes met Lu Cnian's, the image of him doing that to her last night immediately flashed in her mind. Her entire body couldn't help but tremble, her lips pressed tightly together, and she immediately lowered her gaze. For the rest of the makeup session, Qiao Anhao was completely tense, not daring to move even a little. After the makeup artist finished everything and left, Qiao Anhao immediately stood up and headed towards the set outside. Perhaps Qiao Anhao stood up too quickly, or perhaps it was because she was sick, but as soon as she stood up, her legs became weak and she slumped back into the chair helplessly. Zhao Manh couldn't help but worry. Qiao, are you sure you can go? You don't look well at all right now. How about we just go find the director and say we need to go to the doctor? No need, I'm fine, Qiao Anhao replied in the low voice and tried to stand up again. Lu Cnian, head bowed, quickly walked past her from behind. Qiao Anhao entered the set, and as she had predicted, even though there were no exciting scenes today, all of the actors from the crew were present. She knew they were all there to watch her.
Qiao, Lu Cnian has finished his makeup. Qiao Anhao heard Zhao Manh speak, looked up slightly, and saw Lu Cnian, the director, and the producer talking about something in the distance. Then he turned and went back to the makeup room. Immediately after, the assistant director walked towards Qiao Anhao and Zhao Manh. Qiao Anhao thought the assistant director was coming to announce that their scene was about to begin, so she quickly stood up. However, he came up to her, his face full of apology. "Miss Qiao, I'm really sorry. The director asked me to inform you that today's scene will not be filmed." Qiao Anhao's eyebrows immediately furrowed. Zhao Manh asked incredulously, "Not filming?" The assistant director continued to smile, saying, "Yes. Mr. Lu has an urgent matter that suddenly came up and has to return to the city, so it's a shame you got your makeup done today." Qiao Anhao asked again, "Then when will I start filming?" "That will probably have to wait 4 or 5 days. We'll inform you of the specific date later. I'm truly sorry, Miss Qiao." After the assistant director left, Zhao Manh couldn't help but mutter a complaint. "Why didn't they inform us earlier? We've already put on makeup, waited for over half a day, and then they tell us we're not filming?" Qiao Anhao originally didn't want to return to the city, but after removing her makeup when she returned to her hotel room, she began to have a slight fever. Zhao Manh was worried and insisted on taking her to the hospital. Qiao Anhao also feared that she would negatively impact the filming schedule, and thinking she had 4 or 5 days off anyway, she decided to return to the city. First, they went to the hospital for a checkup. There was nothing serious. It was definitely a bad cold from being chilled. Medicine would cure it. Back at Splendid Gardens, Qiao Anhao took her medicine and then climbed into bed. About half an hour later, the medicine began to take effect, and Qiao Anhao drifted off to sleep in a haze. Perhaps it was due to the discomfort of her cold, but Qiao Anhao didn't sleep peacefully, and many images from the past flashed in her mind. Before the age of 10, Qiao Anhao was the happiest person in the world, with a successful father and a gentle mother. But in that very same 10th year, in just one night, she lost that entire happy world. It was a Thursday. Her parents had to attend a charity gala. Before leaving, her father patiently helped her finish her homework, solving all the brain-draining application problems. Her mother drew her bath and even hung a beautiful dress on the edge of the bed for her to wear to school the next day. At that time, she was like a tiny adult, seeing her parents off at the door by herself, even looking up, blinking her eyes as she reminded her parents to be careful on the road. Perhaps her appearance at that moment was too obedient and adorable. Both her parents each gave her a big kiss on the cheek before waving goodbye, then getting into the car and driving away. Her mother, wanting to foster her daughter's independence, always required her to wash her own socks after bathing. Whenever this happened, she would come up with all sorts of excuses to avoid it. Even though her mother would sternly scold her, in the end, her mother would still wash them for her. That night, after seeing her parents off, she went to take a bath. As she stood in front of the mirror drying her hair, she saw a dirty sock thrown on the bathroom floor. A sudden thought prompted her to pick up the sock, carefully wash it clean, and hang it on the hook. She secretly felt proud, thinking that her mother would definitely praise her tomorrow. However, the next morning when she woke up, it wasn't her mother's praise. Instead, it was her uncle with teary red eyes asking if she would come to his house. At 10, she was still just a child and didn't notice anything unusual on her uncle's face. She just thought that her parents had always sent her to her uncle's house when they were busy, so she nodded in agreement, even preparing her luggage herself. Her uncle's family had a cousin her age, and they had a very good relationship since childhood. A child with a friend is always happy, so initially, she didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. It wasn't until her parents didn't come to pick her up for a long time that she went to ask her uncle and aunt. They told her that her parents had gone abroad and wouldn't return for a very long time, and she believed them. Then one day, she and her cousin argued over a toy, and her cousin blurted out that her parents were dead and would never come back. At that moment, Qiao Anhao didn't understand the meaning of death, but hearing "never come back" made her feel incredibly scared. She immediately burst into tears, disturbing her uncle and aunt. That night, her cousin was sent to the study to stand as punishment, and her uncle and aunt comforted her for over half the night, telling her that her parents would return very soon. She was half convinced, and for several days in a row, she persistently asked her uncle and aunt when her parents would return. Later, she gradually stopped asking, because she had understood the meaning of her cousin's words. Her uncle and aunt had always treated her well. Whatever her cousin had, she had too, and some things were even better than her cousin's. She was very grateful, but she still lacked a sense of security.